Like fast bowlers are the equivalent of a real big bloke on a rugby field.
Yeah.
We play against some pretty big units. The Samoan team of '07 had the biggest unit I've ever seen. We've covered it in a previous episode. I mean, this guy was wider than this table, stocky, 160 kilograms, running at 30 k's an hour. Butch James walked the one way, left me to take him. And I surfed him over Don Rousseau, over John Smith, over half the Bok team, and eventually tripped him like legs in between, and we fell over. But I mean, who was the scariest fast bowler? Because obviously you get spells where they're really quick, where you want to avoid them. And then you get guys, it's got a fear factor.
In the time I played, there was a few. I mean, like the fastest two bowlers in the world ever have been Brett Lee and Shah Bakhtar. And they unfortunately came along in my time period. But out of the two of them, Brett Lee was better to face because he had a nicer action. So you could see clean action, you could see the ball.
And no beamers.
And no beamers. And Shah Bakhtar used to take guard and used to look up and used to go, jeepers, how far back is he? And then you look back and the keeper's standing even further. So all you used to see is in his head, his big middle parting running at you. And I don't know, in rugby, your adrenaline probably starts to pump and you get fired up and in cricket, it's about trying to calm that. So you're trying to clear your head out because if your adrenaline starts to pump, you go at balls, you
don't watch the ball,
you don't think clearly, and you almost try and predict. And if you're predicting, you're going to get yourself into troubles. It's crazy when you tell people that the best way to play a fast bowler is to trust your instinct, to allow your body to move.
Yeah.
But there's no better feeling than when you get a little tickle down a fine leg and
single.
And you just trot through and just stand at the other end. And
Yeah. Nothing like a single.
Go, buddy, it's good. Swinging a little bit, just...
I mean, the one that I thought was so messy to face, because I saw him bowl AB de Villiers over the stumps once, was Sean Tate. Yeah. And he only played the short, format, so it's not like he's going to charge at you for 10 or 15 overs. Yeah. But he had some serious gas and also messy because he slinged it from the back.
Because I'm one of the taller bats. I'm 6'4", so I didn't like the skinny bowlers because I found them sometimes you didn't really know whether to sway or duck or take them on, and that's when you start getting yourself into trouble. Sometimes the guys who get extra bounce, sometimes their length can be a bit short and you have a bit more time. Especially as a taller bat, I could get up on my toes. But those guys that were skinny, I never liked. I used to find myself getting into awkward situations, and I often then would decide, okay, if it's I'm going to take it on, just to try and I sometimes I don't know if it's in rugby, but as a batter, if the bowler knows you sometimes going to take him on, and he feels that pressure, you can win that battle a little bit, and maybe he decides not to bounce you for a few overs.
Well, there's been quite a few of the Australian bowlers as well. So you said, Brett Lee, a Mitchell Johnson, a Sean Tate.